Don't mind me looking like turbo ass at the moment. I just got out of the shower, so my hair hasn't dried up, so I'm looking like a depressed anime character who has gotten his heart broken by a girl he loved, but she never liked him back. And ignore those luggages at the background. Those things are used for Korea. That's right, I'm going Korea, but that's really not important for today's video or anything like that. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, today's video is gonna be one of those story time sessions, so yep. Just sit by the fireplace and I'm going to be yapping as much as I can. Hopefully I'm going to keep this video short, but who knows, maybe it might reach 30 minutes and I'm hoping it doesn't reach that time limit. But anyway, the concept of moving on. It's extremely important in life, you know. It helps you grow up, it helps you develop as a person. You want to grow hair in your nutsack, but you can't just do it just like that. You gotta make some mistakes here and there, you know. You gotta make 1, 2, 3, maybe a little bit more mistakes. And what do you do when you make mistakes? You cry about it and whine to your mama that, oh shit, I made a mistake, and then you continue to make more mistakes. No, I'm just pulling your strings on your asshole. What you do when you make mistakes, you learn from them, you know, and then you promise to never do them again. Maybe you might do them again, but you try your best not to do them again, and then you can grow hair in your nutsack and call yourself a man for once in your life. And today's story is gonna be something that has happened in my past that you can essentially learn from. Now, before I start to tell the story here, let me just put this out there real quick. The anime protagonist of this anime is not me. It's actually my friend. And before you start pulling out your torches and your pitchforks and try and stab me through the heart and say that this motherfucker is shit-talking his friend, embarrassing him in front of the public, for the public to laugh at, that's not why I'm telling the story. I'm not trying to embarrass my friend in public. It's just that what my friend did in that past is not really good, and frankly it was part my fault that I didn't stop him, so I guess I played a role in his failed love story. But anyways, yeah, I'm not doing this to hurt you, my bro. I'm just doing this because what you did was incredibly wrong, and hopefully that your life lesson can be used for other people to learn. So anyways, let's start the story. So sit by the fireplace, grab some popcorn, and just ready to listen to me yap for about 30 minutes or so. So it starts off with me and my friend in secondary school. We were at about Sec 3. That was like the second last year in high school. I'm gonna consider it that. So I'm gonna just say that me and my friend were currently in high school, secondary school. And there was this new girl being a transfer student from I don't know what school. She came here because I don't know why. So yeah, she shifted, and I gotta admit, she was definitely a pretty one. But I never really had the balls to go up to her and talk to her because, no, I was not one of those anime characters that could just walk up to a girl and the girl magically falls in love with them or anything like that. I was not one of those. I hadn't watched anime at that time. So yeah, I thought she was pretty. I thought, you know, nothing too much of it, and there goes that. But my friend, on the other hand, my friend saw her and, you know, was telling me, damn, she's a pretty one, you know, and it's sure, maybe love at first sight. I don't know what really pulled on his heartstrings or anything, but he may have felt that way when the first time seeing that girl. So yeah, the first time seeing that girl, he was happy, but throughout the entire year he had not once spoken to her. Well, not really throughout the entire year, more like the first couple months of when she first shifted, he hadn't really like spoken to her or anything, because why in fuck's name would he do that? He's like me, he's socially inept when it comes to talking to girls. He really doesn't know what to say when it comes to talking to girls, so there goes that. So obviously he hasn't really spoken to her throughout like the first few months, but he has been crushing on her or something like that, until one day the gods have blessed him with the ability to talk to her. That's right, he managed to spoke to her. And is it because that he walked up to her and talked to her? No, it's because that she had actually joined his CCA. And if you're wondering what a CCA is, it's basically like an interest group. It's one of those interest groups where you like just join like after school or something, like football or I don't know, basketball. It's like one of those. I think you know what I'm talking about, but you get my point. It's like an interest group basically, where you can partake in a school activity that happens after school hours. So yeah, she had apparently joined the same CCA, the same interest group as he was. And at that time, he was still awkward the first time like she joined. Like he really didn't know what to say to her, so he just kept quiet. But he noticed that she was like struggling with like what to do and whatnot since he's new, so she really didn't know what to do. So what he decided to do was, man up a bit, grow some balls, just ensure that those balls from 1 inch go about 2 inches wide, and then decided to talk to her. And then when he was like talking to her, it's like, all right, so this is what you do, this and that. And yeah, slowly but surely they grew a bond, they grew closer. So I guess congratulations for him. You take that CCA and use it as an excuse to talk to her. So yeah, they got closer through then and there, but as they were getting closer, he never really took the opportunity to like step up, He never really had the balls. It was never that big enough to make the move to confess to her and say, yo, maybe we should start going out sometime. He never really did that. He wasn't brave enough to do that. Now take that nugget of wisdom, put it in your back pocket because it's going to be useful later on in the story. So yeah, as time goes on, they spent a whole year together, they're friends, cool. The next year hits, the final year of high school, the final year of secondary school hits, and same thing, they're just friends, nothing more than that because he was just a pussy. So yeah, cool, the final day of high school hits, and everyone says their goodbyes. When the final day of high school hits, it's sad, but it's life. You're not gonna stick with people forever. You're gonna meet new people later on in life, and so as that happened, everyone split. So he went to a different school and she went to another school. So there goes that. So they never really spoke much. I mean, they did like keep in contact with each other, but didn't speak as much as they did before back when they were in high school. But yeah, same thing with me and him. So yeah, there goes that. And a side note, considering the fact that I haven't really spoken much to him after we had separated because we're no longer in the same schools, I may be twisting the story a bit because I'm not truly sure how the story goes. I'm not that deep into the lore. I'm just told what he told me. I just know what he told me, so all that information is just in my head. May not be true 100% because I'm not told the full story from both sides, but what I'm getting at is what he's telling me. So let me just describe it real quick. So just keep that in your head and just remember that. Sorry if I actually paint you like a villain, my friend, but I don't really know the full story. I'm just remembering what you told me. But anyway, so now that they are in different schools, they meet different people, they make different friends, and the sad part is this girl actually got a boyfriend in the other school. And my friend was livid. He was heartbroken. I could hear his heart shatter the instant I heard that news. And he was, trying to cope with it. Like, oh shit. Like, oh no. She got a boyfriend. Now it's not the same, Now I can't really shoot my shot. Which he had plenty of opportunity to do so, but you weren't ballsy enough to do so. So that was your fault. So yeah, he was upset. He was telling me how she was, the warmth that kept him warm in the winter. He was that light, she was that light to his darkness, some stupid cringe shit like that. So he was telling me all that, and then I'm here telling him like, you had every opportunity to do so, but you wasted it, so that was your fault. But he was still upset at that. He was like, he really didn't want to let her go. He really loved her. He didn't want to let her go. He apparently was going through depression at the time, and she was that one that kept him out of it. That's what I remember. That's what he told me. So yeah, there's that. And then like, when like a girl that you like gets a boyfriend, you don't go chasing her until she changes her mind and falls in love with you, right? You just move on. You meet another girl, and life continues. So yeah, I told him that it's too late. You can't really do that. You can't really do anything about it. She has a boyfriend now. I told him that it's too late. What can you do about it? You had plenty of opportunity, you had plenty of time, you wasted it. It's your fault. So I just told him that. I also told him that there's like plenty of fishes in the sea. You may want a goldfish, but you can't get a goldfish, so instead you can get a clownfish. It may not be a goldfish, may not be what you want, but it's still a fish that you can just take care of, and hopefully that fish can keep you entertained. It's the same thing. It's it's a fish. That's the thing about life, you know. You may want one thing, but you're given another thing, you know, who knows? You might fall in love with the other thing. We may never know. Life just works like that. So I just told him all of that, but he was still hopeless about it because he's one of those types of people who is incredibly sensitive when it comes to like these things. I'm not trying to say that if you say that his hair smells like nutsack, he's gonna get super pissed off or anything like that. He can take like an insult. What I meant by sensitive is that when it comes to romance, to love, to his own heart, he's sensitive regarding that type of thing. So yeah, there goes that. So I told him all that. He really didn't, you know, he really didn't keep it to heart. He didn't really put my information in his own head. He just one ear, another ear exit. You know, it goes like that. So then he tries to like talk to her and say how much she meant to him. You know, how much like he loved her and whatnot, how much she was the key to his heart, how important she was to him. So he was telling her all that, and she, I can tell, is very uncomfortable because duh, she already has a boyfriend, so come on man, you can't do that. But I didn't really stop him, so I guess there's my fault. I didn't stop him hard enough. I only talked to him and told him what to do and what not to do, but he didn't take it to heart. So the fact that he didn't take it to heart, I could have hit him harder, but I didn't. I just feed into his delusion by saying that, oh, don't worry, you can win her sometime, you know, all that. Which that was my fault. I really shouldn't have done that, so fuck me for that. But yeah, he kept talking, he said all that, but she was uncomfortable, she really didn't like it. Then she started growing distant, you know, she didn't really respond to his messages all that well. It took her like days to just respond to a simple hi text message like that. So then he was really upset, and you know, he's getting more and more depressed, and this was the last straw of that pile of hay that he decided to just pull, which frankly he shouldn't have. So what he did was, on her birthday, he had wrote her like a whole love letter for her birthday, like saying like, oh, how much she meant to him, and that like, you know, all that cringe bullshit, and say, oh, I love you, please date me type shit. If I don't remember what exactly that love letter said, but if memory serves, I think it said something to the likes of, please date me, or something like that. I think it said something like that. I'm not particularly sure. I don't remember, you know. I can't even remember what happened yesterday, so don't expect me to remember something that happened 2 years ago. So yeah, that happened. And when that happened, you know, I read that the love happy birthday letter, and frankly I was disappointed. I was upset at my friend because he's really spiraling down this rabbit hole that he really had every opportunity to avoid by moving on, but he didn't really want to. So yeah, that was his fault. I could have told him, but I didn't want to hurt his feelings because he's sensitive to that type of thing. So yeah, there goes that. So I just said, okay, I read it, you know, sent it to her, I guess. So then he sent it to her, and I don't recall if she saw I don't recall if she read his message or not. That I don't remember. Maybe he didn't tell me, or I may have forgotten. But after that day, after that happy birthday letter, she did not speak to him at all. Nothing. The entire text catalog, the message catalog, the entire chat was as dry as the desert. It was as empty as my bumhole after I take a shit. It was just that empty. He really was, nothing was given. You know, he was upset and that no reply was given. And he was like anticipating her reply, but nothing. She said nothing. And then a couple days later, he checked his Instagram to see how like she's doing. It turns out she had unfollowed him on Instagram. So there goes that. That's gotta hurt to, I don't know how painful it is, because I don't think that has ever happened to me, but that really hurt, that I can feel his pain. So yeah, that happened, and he was even more upset, and then he got depressed, and yeah. I mean, we're still friends after all that. It's not like I cut contact with him from being like one of those guys who just can't take rejection, you know. And I'm still friends with him even after all that. And I'm not sure if he has moved on from her, but based on how we've been talking and the fact that we've met just a couple days ago, he seemed fine. So I would make the assumption that he has actually moved on from her. So congratulations on that. So I guess that you're doing better in life, so good job, you know, congrats. So yeah, that's basically how the story goes. Basically, the plot of this anime is when you have the time to get a girl, just go shoot a shot. Even if you fail, you at least tried. And don't wait till it's too late. Don't wait till she just gets another boyfriend, and then you go crying and whining, and then try and chase her when she has a boyfriend. Don't do that. And also move on. It's very important when it comes to growing up. Moving on is, well, helps you grow up as a person. So yeah, these are the life lessons. Those are the 3 things that you can learn from today's video. So yeah, my friend out there, if you're watching this video, I'm sorry for telling this story, but I gotta give it to people so that they can learn from you and not do exactly what you did. And if you believe that I'm lying, I'm not. I promise, I swear upon my mama, upon my life, upon my own family, this story is true. But then again, I'm twisting it a bit because I'm not sure what the full story is. I'm just understanding what he told me. So yeah, that's about it. See ya.